hello, social media land. I am Melinda Talbert, your real estate tax queen. I think you're muted.
I am. Hello. Nat Armour Johnson, Client Care Director here at RETAG.
I'm Erica Hayward, your Senior Tax Advisor.
I'm Cassie McGowan, another Senior Tax Advisor. How are you guys doing?
Hola, everybody. Today we are going to be discussing, we won't talk about taxes today. We won't talk about anything business-wise. We decided to do a live on mental health today. I was having a conversation with a family member the other day, and it made me realize how disconnected we can be with people that are going through trials and tribulations that we all go through. And you just never know what people are going through. I got my sage and I got my candle, and I always got God. So that's how I get through a lot of the things that I go through. I have been through a lot these past few years. First, I lost my grandmother. My grandmother is the person that raised me, and shortly after that, I lost my mother last year to cancer. And it's hard, y'all. People think because like months pass by and time passes by, people think that you're over it. I don't think that pain will ever go away. There are still to this day some TV shows and some movies that I can't watch. And I learned that when me and my husband was watching, I can't remember what the show was. It was one of Tyler Perry's movies. And at the end of the movie, the big mama, I don't know if she was the big mama or if she was the mom in the movie, she was passing away with cancer. And at the end of the movie, she brought everybody together, and all of the siblings was surrounded in her hospital room around her bed. And it just brought back the day that my mom passed, because we were all surrounded.
Yeah. Losing
Me and all my brothers and sisters, we were surrounded around her and watched her take her last breath. And those last few minutes before she took her last breath, it was like she laid there the entire day. I think she had already checked out, but she was still breathing, so she was still alive. But she couldn't talk. We couldn't talk to her. It was kind of like she was just laying there already deceased. But minutes before she took her last breath, I kind of knew what was happening, because hospice gives you this book and it helps you understand what happens during those last few hours. So I noticed that her one of the things was the way they breathe, it slows down. It gets real slow. So I paid attention to her breathing. She was breathing fine, but later on that day, um, right after my brother came, my brother, he deals with, everybody deals with pain different. He deals with it in isolation, and so do I. But I couldn't isolate myself from my mom. Like I really had to be there. So when he finally came, not too long after that, she took her last breath, and I felt like that she was waiting on him to come. She was waiting to see him until she passed. But right before she passed, a few minutes before, her eyes opened like so wide, and it's kind of like she had jumped. And I was like,
wow.
what is she experiencing? And I'm like, do you see grandma? Like, what do you see? And her body kind of just got back calm. And then she started breathing real slow. And then she passed away. But throughout her entire cancer journey, I was real strong. And I was strong because I hated to see my mom go through what she went through, but I was so happy to be able to spend that time with her. And I was so happy to see her at her best. If you're not aware, my mom, had a drug addiction. So um, we went through a lot. We went through a lot, but before she passed away, she got her life together. She was in rehab. She actually graduated from rehab, but she couldn't stay because we found out she had cancer. But I was able to see my mama at her best, and for that, I'll forever be grateful. But it's hard.
Yeah.
It's very hard, and what helps me is prayer, strength. Some days I get up and don't want to get out of the bed. And other days, I'm perfectly fine. I'm motivated. I'm on a journey to make my ancestors proud, to make my mom proud. But it's not always like that. Sometimes I still cry myself to sleep at night. Some days I'm good, and other days I'm very sad. So we have to be more courteous to other people when they become distant, because you just don't know what that person is going through.
Can I say something?
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of times people expect us as Black women to be so strong. You're so strong, you're so strong, you're so strong. And I think that it subconsciously teaches us to suppress our feelings.
Yep.
Suppress your feelings, put them away, put them away. When it's okay to feel your feelings, it's okay to not be okay. It's okay to say, I'm having a bad day.
Yeah.
And sometimes we think we're having a bad day, but really you may be having a bad moment. You
Yeah.
may have
That's
had a
it.
bad morning. You may have had a bad afternoon. But
Yeah.
once you say, I'm having a bad day, guess what? Your day gonna be bad because
Yep.
you already said you're having a bad day. So
That's
I
right.
think that it's okay for us to feel our feelings as Black women. Like
Yeah.
I want to erase that whole narrative of you're so strong. Like I don't ever want anybody to ever in life tell me you are so strong. No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Yeah.
So
It's
feel your
it's
feelings.
hard.
Okay.
Yeah, and piggybacking on that, it's like it has to be okay for the rest of us around someone who is having their moment to allow someone to have their moment without judgment and criticism.
Right.
Because
Saying
everybody
stop
else,
crying.
yeah, exactly. Like
Yeah.
you have to allow them, you have to give them the space to feel what they're feeling. Because when you go through something like that, you have to feel every emotion to get over it.
Yeah. And people, I'm glad you said that. When somebody passed away, the it's so cliche, and I hate when I hear somebody say they're in a better place. I know they're in a better place, but that doesn't take my pain away. You're gonna be all right. You strong. Yeah, I'm also human too. We forget that the strong people are human and we have feelings just like everybody else does. We just learn how to work through it.
Yeah.
And some of us, like E said, suppresses those feelings because everybody has given us the title of being strong. Yes, Nat.
No, I'm raising my hand to that.
You don't let that
Oh,
go.
yeah, I'm a whole bag of emotions right now because I can resonate. Number one, I've actually saw you and your family go through the transition of your mother transitioning. I can actually relate to what E brought up as a topic, and you guys already know I'm working on hanging up my cape.
Yeah,
For so long I've been so perfect.
yeah,
There's no room not to be strong for everyone else.
yeah,
But today, with today's segment, I'm tired.
yeah,
Tired. I've got to hang up that cape, you
yeah.
know?
Absolutely.
You have
And
to
it's
hang it up. If not for your family, then for yourself. when I started my therapy a long time ago, um, I just started a new therapist, started with a new therapist recently. And that was something that she shared with me. She was just kind of helping me unpack all the stuff that I'm going through. And she was like, you break your neck checking on everybody. Who checks on you?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And when she said that, I had to think about it.
Like, who does check on me?
And
Yep.
she was like, if you're not good for you, you can't be good for nobody else.
Mhm.
Exactly.
So Nat, I'm saying to you, hang that cape up. If not for you, if for your family, do it for you.
Yeah.
Because the people that you are, I'm just gonna keep it in your household, your
Yeah.
husband and your kids. They need you, baby.
And you know what's so sad about it? That also brings in a bag of emotions. I'm teaching my daughter the same thing.
Yep.
So it may take me a minute. I may not be able to do it cold turkey. I may have to clip that cape up into small pieces, but it's gotta go.
Yeah.
It's a process.
Oh
It's a
yeah.
process. You can't undo years of learned behavior in a day. You
Yeah.
can't do that. It takes time. Like, and I think that now once you become, what's the word? Once you become aware of what you're doing,
Hmm.
sometimes you have to take a step back and say, okay, wait a minute, let me think about this. And then come back and say, oh, yes, I can, or no, I can't.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I learned
Because
that.
because given that much of yourself, it's like clearly you're not okay. Like we'll just use the analogy of like, when you're on the airplane, when they specifically tell you when those masks fall down or you need air, you need to put yours on first.
First.
Before assisting others.
Don't leave anybody else if you're slowly dying.
I
Like
like that. I
I
like
love that.
killing yourself to save somebody else because no one's gonna be able to make it.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Stress kills. Stress is a silent killer.
mm,
Stress killed so many people from
Mhm.
strokes. Listen, start with saying no. That's gonna be your start. Start with saying I have gained
back, kick
not
back.
gained,
When you start
I've
saying
lost a
no.
lot of friends, and I don't even deal with certain family members because I've learned how to say no, and a period behind that no. Like I don't owe you no explanation. No, I'm not available.
Yeah,
No, I don't have it. No, I can't come pick you up. No, I can't help you. No, I can't hire you. Like, no, and that's it. And so people they'll think that, oh, she changing, or she thinks she this, or she thinks she that. No, baby, I need my peace.
Right.
and it's so rough when you feel so obligated because I think we all kind of share a little bit of that. Like we're just such givers, and like there's those periods where you're like someone can call you and you're like clearly needing to do this, but you're like, well, I have to be there for that person. I don't ever want there to be a moment when I'm like, I wasn't there for you. And it's so inherently like your responsibility to be there. And when you say no, you just feel like you're completely like letting someone down. But once you start saying no, like, oh, the kickback that you get is gonna be crazy. And you're gonna feel so guilty. And that
Not
was
me.
my thing when I did when I first I'm kind of like in that process when I kept being like, okay, this is what I'm focused on right now. So I can't help you with X, Y, and Z because I'm doing this. I'm trying to elevate in this area. And you'll get kickback. Like you're not there for me. Like the love is not different, blah, 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 or the same or what have you. But you just have to say to yourself, like, the people who love you are still going to be there and they're going to
I'm telling
understand.
you, they're
Like,
gonna
you have to
understand.
prioritize yourself at some point.
I like that. Out
Mhm.
in that when you mentioned that's what came in my head. That those people that don't understand, those aren't your people.
Oh yeah.
They're not.
Yeah.
Those aren't your people. Mm-mm. And
And
just
let's be
say no.
but
And
but
the
let's
thing
be
about
honest
people,
here
it's
though.
kind of funny because they do kind of come in cycles. Like when you start kind of like moving and elevating your life, those people who are actually meant to be in that, and not saying that you have to get rid of all the other people because they're still going to be there,
It's
but you have
okay
to
if
put
you
them in a
do.
different compartment to understand, like,
Mhm.
okay, well, this is where I put myself in this situation, and this is where I have to put you because you're not understanding what I'm trying to do with my life.
I don't even give them that much though, Cass. Like I'm serious. Like
Well, it'll be like,
I'm gonna tell you, when I started having my spiritual awakening, when I started realizing who the fuck I am, how powerful I am because of how connected I am to Him, to the man of God, girl, I'm so at peace with my life right now. I still have my moments, my sadness. I still cry myself to sleep sometimes because I miss my mama. But when it comes to dealing with people, I don't give zero fucks. I don't care who likes me. I don't care. That's your problem, not mine.
mm-hmm.
I don't care. I don't care who likes me. I
And you
don't
will get to
care
a point where you don't care
who
about who
don't want to
pisses you
talk to
off.
me. I don't care. I'm trying to build generational wealth for my kids
And the
and
funny
my,
thing
my
is, when you stop
grandkids.
caring, more things will come into your grasp because,
Yes.
like, you'll like your whole everything changes because you get more authenticity from the people.
Yeah.
It's
I'm
so
not
crazy.
trying to be. I used to try to be this perfect Patty. Girl, please. I killed Patty ass a long time ago. I don't care. I don't. Nope. This is who I am. This is who God made me
I guess
to
that
be.
makes sense. That goes into my story, like talking about the perfect Patty. I mean, I've never been perfect per se, but I definitely did everything the way I was supposed to. Like even
Yep.
if it wasn't what I wanted to do. Like I didn't want to go to college when I went to college, but I had to go to college and I did everything. I did well, graduated 3.8. You know, I did everything that I was supposed to do.
Not
And
what you were
then
supposed to do. You did
was
everything
expected
your
of
that I
you.
was
parents
told to
told
do
you
that I
you're
was
supposed to
expected to
do.
do because no one in my family has done it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Then, you know, like I hit a point like when I had my son. And when I tell you it was an emotional because I was embarrassed of how I did it, you know, because I was supposed to do it, you know, the right way. I was supposed to get married, I was supposed to do
Mm,
this, I was supposed to do that. I was embarrassed. Like some of my closest friends, like I didn't even have like I couldn't even like call them individually and tell them. I just posted on Facebook having a baby.
wow.
And like I think some people were like literally offended that I didn't call them and tell
I
them.
would have
But it
been.
was yeah, exactly. But it wasn't because of them, it was because of my embarrassment, my personal I
Mm,
felt shame. So
yeah.
I just wanted to put it out there and kind of like tuck my head and let whatever come after that come.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was like a huge thing, you know. It's like, you know, we weren't in this relationship, there was nothing happening on that side, and now I have this baby in the world and I've done everything in accordance so perfectly, and then I just waited all this time to just really fuck it up.
Yeah.
And I was embarrassed, and I was like, and then you add the hormones on there and the weight is like, now I'm fat and now I'm a baby mama, no one's gonna want my ass, you know, I'm not as attractive, I'm an older mom, you know, I'm about to hit 42.
It was like a huge
You
thing.
know, I was like, you know, my acting career hadn't done anything, you know, like you know, I just felt like all of my failures were wrapped into having a baby out of wedlock.
Yeah.
And I was in a
Mm,
deep depression, like
wow.
deep depression, deep depression.
The thing
I
is,
hear
most of
that
our
pen.
issues.
I hear that pen tapping. E.
No, that's not me. That's not me.
Okay, I'm like, she's ready. Go ahead, E.
He over
Yeah,
there like, you need to see a therapist. You need to see a therapist.
yeah, that was coming. But I just feel like a lot of times our issues come from the expectations we place on
Yeah.
ourselves.
It
Like
is.
it's not
Yeah.
other people. It's us. It's the expectations
Yeah.
that we put on ourselves. And the thing is, like, we don't get more time on earth. You don't
Mm-mm.
get more time. Like we
Nope.
put so much pressure and so much emphasis and so much whatever on stuff that honestly Doesn't even matter for
Mhm.
real. It doesn't. And I am a reformed perfect
Well,
patty.
I think for
You're a reformed person, Patty.
Reformed.
What
I
does
ain't
that
perfect.
mean?
reform perfect
Break
patty.
that down for me.
Reformed perfect patty.
Yes.
I am reformed. Like I was perfect patty too, Cassie.
Yeah.
I was like I felt like I had the best grades. I was a
Yeah.
majorette. I'm a Delta. I'm a college graduate. I'm a da 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 da. And honestly, like, what does that do? Like you're making everybody else proud.
Yeah.
But
That's
what
it.
makes
Yeah,
you happy?
but
That's
What
I
makes
it.
you
do not.
happy?
I do not feel proud about any of that, any of those
I had a
accolades.
baby in college. I got pregnant my senior year in college. I finished my last semester. I took 7 or 8 classes to graduate. I drove to Georgia Southern 2 days a week from Savannah State to take a class that wasn't available. I did it. I had a baby out of
I
wedlock,
know that's
and
why he's like, "Let's make it happen."
I'm a statistic. I mean, but you know what? I'm the shit too. So
That's
I mean,
right.
it's like take it or leave it. Like this is me.
That's
I got
right.
a kid. My son is 15. People think my son is my brother. Like, and
That's
is it embarrassing? No. I feel
right.
good.
Because you
I'm like,
Right.
well,
yeah.
yeah, and I had to hit a place where I was like okay with myself because for me it's different. I think my thing has always been like not re- I guess kind of for everyone else like I need to prove everyone wrong because I come from a
Mhm.
family like my family's gangbangers, drug dealers, and everything like that. My
Wait a
except
minute.
my father though, my father, it's weird, weird.
You put no false business.
Okay.
I'm gonna put it
I'm
out
not
there.
a part of Cassie's family, FYI.
Nobody knows my family,
But
not
the
my
thing
immediate
is,
family. I'm talking about my. Nobody knows
but
them.
the thing is, Cassie, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't.
Yeah.
Right.
Like people who are going to have something to say are going to have something to say regardless, no
Oh,
matter what.
yes.
You have a
But I
baby
mean, I
young. Oh, she
remember.
had a baby young. She my mama out of wedlock. She a young girl. Da, da, da. You have a baby older. Oh, her old ass having a baby, and she people gonna say something regardless.
Yeah.
Like,
I
let me
mean,
talk.
like, so for me, like my father, I remember being a young girl, probably a preteen, and like he would pick me up, and I think it was more so for court order, because I was never really wanted there. He was remarried, they had their family, so he like had to do it. So like I remember us, and he was being like, well, I was tying that into what I was saying about my family. He was like, well, the family you come from, you'll probably be pregnant by the time you're 16.
Your dad told you that?
Absolutely. And like at the time when I was a
Wow.
kid, my mom smoked cigarettes, and I would get in the car with him, and he would be like, because she smoked, and he would be like, "You stink. As soon as we get in the house, you need to take all your clothing off, and I need to wash it." And I would have to come in the house and like take everything off and put it in the washing machine.
That's
Are you
trauma, Cassie.
Yeah.
Girl,
That's trauma. Have you unpacked that? Have you healed from that?
Nope. I let
girl,
those
I
people out.
am fine.
I have. Like I did. I see you holding them back. Like I'm learning now in the process of hanging up my cape, and you guys are definitely my accountability partners. It's okay to cry.
Yeah.
I only cry
Yeah.
when it's just me. I don't think I've ever cried publicly. If I have, I can count on 2 fingers.
Yeah.
It's okay. Those are things that
It
we
is.
keep in a suitcase, and nobody ever heals about it until it's too late.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not gonna cry about it. I just think it's like messed up because you feel like like you when you start off not having that approval from a man, then you
You
go
seek
through
it
your
from
life trying to get approval from men, and it never happens. And then I think it cycled back from my father, and I went ahead and had a baby by a man that's pretty much the same replica as my dad.
Wow.
Mm.
And then I had just never been so disappointed with myself ever.
You have to
Mm.
forgive yourself because you did the best you could at that time.
Right.
No, I didn't.
You
You
yes, you
did.
did. Yes,
You
you did.
did.
But I
Yes,
mean,
you
it's not something that I'm harping on. I'm just disclosing it. Like, it is what it is. Like when you make your bed, you lay on it. Like I'm a self
That's some
accountability person.
bullshit that
It
somebody
is
has
not.
said to you.
I agree.
No. Mm-mm.
you
Some
forgive
shit we
others, you
can't
forgive
control.
yourself.
You can't control how fucked up your daddy is. You can't control that. He has instilled in your head so much BS that you went out and you found the same type of man and had a baby with them. Like, you, baby, you're gonna have to talk to a therapist. You're gonna have to, like E said, you're gonna have to unpack that, because although you're saying it's okay, it's not okay, or you wouldn't be talking about it.
Because what's going to
Well, I
happen
don't
is
think it's
when you
okay,
think,
but I think
oh, go ahead, go ahead.
I don't think it's okay. And like, I guess my thing is like, I feel like it's unpacked, if that makes sense.
It's
Like,
not.
I under, you know, I don't know how to explain
It's
it.
not.
Mm.
It's
And let
not.
me tell you why. Let me tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why. The thing is, I am a therapy advocate. Okay,
You
I
are.
am. I am.
Me
I am a
too.
self-care advocate. I am an advocate.
Yes.
Thing is, you will think that you have healed from something. You will think that you are okay with something that happened to you, and it'll be something that'll happen that's totally unrelated to it, but it'll be a trigger.
Right.
And then you'll be all in a tizzy
Yeah.
and you don't know why because you're not in
Yeah.
tune with your feelings. But if you're really in tune with your feelings, so let me say something happened to me. Something happened in the dating realm. I'm not gonna say exactly what it is, but something happened dating recently, and I was just in a tizzy, and I was like, "Oh my god, why do I feel?" I mean, I was upset, just upset, totally upset. It wasn't even anything to really be upset about, but it was something that triggered something. And because I'm in tune with my feelings now, I'm sitting here like, "Why do I feel like this?"
Yeah.
Oh,
Trigger. Yeah.
this guy did the same thing 13 years ago, Cassie. 13 years ago, the same thing happened. And I was like, dang, I thought I healed from that. I thought I went to therapy about that. I thought I was done. No, you're not. Until you forgive other people, forgive yourself, realize you did the best you could at that time, heal
Yes.
from it and move on. And people love to make self care and heal and look all pretty, like it's shopping trips and spa dates and all that shit. No, it's not. It's ugly.
Mhm.
It's ugly.
It is
Very
It's
ugly.
it is
ugly.
mascara running.
It's
Not
ugly. It's
getting out
so
the
ugly.
bed.
Yeah. It's
It's
Pain,
ugly.
ugly.
disappointment. Yeah. Depression.
It's not
Yeah, it is.
pretty.
It's a lot of
And
those things.
and it's a process. It's not like I
Yeah.
said, like you can't undo years and years of conditioning in a day or in a couple therapy sessions. For
Yeah.
me, like I said, I'm a reformed perfect patty. I place expectations on myself. Nobody places those expectations on
Yeah.
me. I put it on myself.
Mhm.
I'm
Yeah.
right here to kill myself, being everything to everybody else because I believe in
Exactly.
showing love to people the way I want to be shown love. So if that means I'm always
Yes.
going to show up for you, I'm always going to show up for you. I don't ever, none of my friends, not even the dog I had, my son, I spoil everything I touch. And that's a
Absolutely.
bad habit that I have. And
Yeah.
what it does is it teaches people not to really fully appreciate you because you always gonna be there.
Yeah.
Mama's always gonna be there. Erica's always gonna be there. If you need a
Yeah.
place to stay, call Erica. You need a loan, call Erica. You need PPP, call Erica. You need to figure out, call Erica. Like, just call me.
Yeah.
And it reached a point when, like Melinda said, when you want something, who do you call? I gotta look in the mirror. I gotta look at myself.
Yeah.
Who
Right.
do I and it's like that's not life. And sometimes when you're superwoman, I don't know if any of you have this issue, you have issues accepting things from other people. I have issues accepting things from other people because in my experiences, it came with conditions.
Mm-hmm.
For
It
me,
came
it's just like
with,
I don't feel worthy. Like when like even like it's so funny because like what you said, like someone will be like, "Oh my God, you're so pretty, you're so gorgeous," and then for me, I'll turn around, I'll be like, "I don't feel pretty and I don't feel gorgeous
because you
because
see it every day,
I've
Cassie.
ever
That's
dated
why.
treated me like shit. So clearly, I'm not so pretty and so gorgeous and so nice."
No,
Yeah, you
they're
know.
not shit. You're shit. They're
Well,
not
yeah.
shit.
Well, I mean, I get that now, but I'm saying that that's how it like kind of how it turns around. It's like people can tell you all this stuff, but then like when you go into the outside world, you're treated so differently, and it's a mind fuck.
But you know what, Cassie? People, and I have to learn this too, and I'm working on it myself. People treat you how you treat yourself.
I'm telling you.
That is
People
true.
treat you how you
I
treat
do
yourself.
stuff. Yeah, I stuck with self
So
care.
if people see you talking bad on yourself or talking down on yourself, or they see you're empathetic,
Yeah.
empathetic people attract the worst people.
Ooh.
Empathetic people
God,
attract
that's so true.
narcissists, sociopaths, all that because they see that in you. They see a
Yeah.
way in. They see it. They're gonna love bomb you. They're gonna gaslight you, and then they're gonna pull the cape off.
Girl, that gaslighting. I never thought.
It's the
I'm gonna
devil.
I'm gonna give you a good
Woo!
example of what E is saying. There's two of me. You got the professional Melinda Tolbert,
Hello,
and you got Kilolo.
not Kilolo.
So in the business world, a lot of people have not met Kilolo from the hood. They know the the very sweet professional Melinda that will help anybody, that will do whatever it takes to excel. Um, but when they mess around and they let that little pretty face Melinda got fools them, Kilolo comes out. They tried to take advantage of Melinda, but when Kilolo come out, they take a step back and they be like, "Ooh, don't y'all fuck with her." So
Mhm.
people, that is so true. People treat you how you treat yourself. But now everybody knows, oh, she got two sides to her. Don't try that with her. Oh, you've been
Yeah.
doing this, you've been doing this for so long. You've been treating people like this for so long in the real estate world. You might not want to try that with her. And girl, just be you. I
Yep.
promise you.
How you
Just
treat
be you.
yourself. Like I am a therapy advocate. Oh my gosh. Like this last therapist I have, she's amazing.
She
When I tell
is.
you this lady broke down my whole life in the first session, and I was like, oh, you
Is that the one that you sent me the info for? Erica trying to
yeah,
get me in therapy.
That's I
I
spoke to
can't
her.
This is
wait.
I'm damaged.
On
I'm like, I am
Monday.
fine. Girl, I am good. She's like,
I
no,
love
you
her.
I'm good.
you could be, but you can be good and you can still need a therapy. You can go to therapy
I
because
feel
it's
you.
really just talking through your feelings. And I went to therapy just because I felt overwhelmed because
Mhm.
I was always showing up for everybody else. When I tell you my days, I would be out from sun up to sundown, running around, doing this, doing that, gaining weight. I gained 50 pounds, um, being there for everybody else and not
Mhm.
showing up for yourself. And for
Yeah.
me, I always thought self care was getting my hair done, getting my nails done.
Right.
Yeah.
No, it's
I
taking
get
time
I
for
get that.
yourself, even if you want to do nothing. Like it was too much. It was just too much.
They'd be
Being
like,
a
oh, you
mom
went to the store by yourself, self care. Oh, you
is
got
not self
groceries, self care.
care.
That is not self care.
That's not self care. No, that's not. That's just going to the store by yourself. But really saying no to people, saying I can't accommodate you, closing off my schedule for some, times. Like this year is the first year I actually did not work on Sundays. I have not worked on a Sunday all year,
Wow.
and
Congratulations.
Wow.
my revenues are up 49%.
Yeah.
Hey, look at God.
So
Yeah.
I'm like,
No.
okay, this works. And so it's really
Mhm.
down to taking time for yourself. Like I treated this job or this business like a corporate job. I blocked off my birthday. I blocked off my son's birthday. I blocked off holidays. I blocked off things because for me,
Yeah.
being a good person means showing up for people the way you want to be shown up for. And
Yeah.
for me, that meant depleting myself. But what I've learned is if your cup is empty, you have nothing to pour to anybody else.
Mhm.
Hello.
That's right.
Nothing left. It's nothing to pour. Self
My cup,
preservation is
my cup
not
has been empty.
selfish.
Yeah.
You better fill it
Girl,
back
empty,
up.
empty.
You better fill
Yeah.
it
So it
up.
sounds like she definitely taught you how to put up your guardrails, right? And most importantly, taught you how to de-stress to make yourself a priority.
Mhm.
Yeah, because
And
when
that's
you're a
where
giver, you got to get there. Because when you're a giver, I'm a giver. Like I'm a
Yeah.
giver by nature. If I would give somebody the case off my phone and I would not have a phone case and my phone would break because I thought you
Absolutely.
needed the case more than me.
Right.
No. If I got an extra case, I'm gonna give it to you. But you might want to go on Amazon audio case now. Doing that.
You know what?
Yeah,
Yeah, I think it's
you
so
gotta
good.
impact it because we've all in the past, our childhood, like we've all experienced some type of trauma that we don't realize it's affecting us now. I didn't realize how much my dad not being there affected my life. I didn't know I had abandonment issues until I started therapy and she started unpacking everything.
Because they're gonna
And
ask everything.
I'm
Childhood,
telling you,
your mom, your dad, they're gonna ask everything. And that's it right
Yeah.
there.
yeah, yeah.
I didn't even speak about any of that when I was in therapy. I just kind of,
Then
I
you
don't
need a
know.
new therapist.
You got the
Call
wrong one. You got the
Well, I
wrong
just
one. I'm
wasn't. Well,
telling
I
you.
mean, I'm not seeing anyone now. I didn't want to. I didn't want to talk about all that.
there's because that's what it is. So like for me, um, my I don't know if I should
Scrum.
say it.
No, just kidding. Just
I
kidding.
don't know. Growing up, like my sister was sick. She was sick. And she was very sick, very, very, very sick growing up. And they spend a lot of time at the hospital. And for me, I always wanted to make things better. Let me clean the house. Let me wash clothes. Let me scrub the floor with a toothbrush. Let me clean the oven and almost pass out. Let me make things better. Let me do that because I felt like that was my way to help. And in turn, it made me feel not celebrated. It made me feel like it was expected that I do
Yeah.
well, not celebrated. It was expected that I be a straight A student. It was expected that I do these things. And while that's trauma in a sense, and while it's not something that somebody intentionally did, our life is made up of what? Experiences. Two people can live in the same
Absolutely.
household, have the same mom and daddy, and
Telling
take things totally different. It's just how you interpret things. So
Absolutely.
did my parents mean to make me feel that way? No,
you.
no, but it did. And that's where Perfect Patty came from. But Perfect Patty, what you say? You killed Perfect Patty? I
Baby, I
ran
killed
so
her ass a
We gotta
long
run
time
her
she
ago.
over.
gone. She
I
gone.
said, girl, you got to go.
And
Bye.
the more you talk, I feel like we are so similar. We are very kindred.
We all are.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, we all are.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's when Melinda put us together, she knew what she was doing.
God put us together. I just was being obedient.
Absolutely. You
Amen.
keep being that vessel, girl.
Yeah.
And I think it's good that we have these conversations because I think people only see like the success of it. Like we're
Yeah.
business owners and we're doing our thing, but they don't see the inner workings of like we have those days where it's hard to go run that business and
Yeah.
the struggles of starting a business and not knowing where to start and how to put things together and still dealing with things like that. We have children and husbands and
Yeah.
it's not an easy task. We don't just wake up and be brilliant every day.
It's
It's like,
not.
But
And
to whom much is given, much is required.
Yeah.
yeah,
That's it.
that's true.
It
I
comes with it.
always say that women, business minded women, true entrepreneurs, we run circles around men
oh God.
any day. I have the same hustle as men, but I have to go home and be a wife too. You get to
You're a
go
mom.
you get to go home and get catered to,
Right.
but I have to go home and I gotta be your wife. Y'all can't touch us.
Right.
That's the hardest thing. That's the hardest thing, honestly, in dating. Because the thing is, when you're in the business world, you have to channel masculine energy.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
If
yeah.
not, you get ran over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it's hard to turn it off because for me, like I listen to Boosie. I listen to Rick Ross. I listen to Jeezy. Like, baby, I'm about to go flip these bricks. I'm about to go flip these tables. I'm about to go like
Somebody got me
that's
listening
me.
to
That's
Jesus.
me. And then when you're dating somebody, you got to sit here and act all demure like you a lady. I am a lady, but you got to sit here and be all like, tell
Mm-mm.
me more. I don't care nothing about that. How can
Right.
we go make some money? So it's tough trying to turn that off. Like it's tough. And then you end
Yeah.
up when you're single, you end up with dating men who want to compete with you.
Yeah.
Ain't no competition.
Mm-mm.
For
And ain't
real.
nobody got time for that.
Ain't one.
I
Ain't
don't
one.
date. I think I date the guys that like. No offense to my white women, I love my white sisters. I always date the guys that really want to date white women. I'm like the in between step because I do like white people shit. Like I'm like rock climbing, whitewater rafting, and listening to
Oh,
music and shit. I'm that type girl. I'm
I
like let's
like
go
doing that kind of
camping. I
stuff
love like
though.
I love all that stuff that's considered white people. I'm from Denver. It is what it is.
Yeah.
So I love all that stuff. So, like I'm the in-between girl. They're like, well, let me date Cassie because I really want to date a white woman. Then they end up like cheating on me with a white girl or a girl that's like way whiter than me. And I'm like, well, you could have just went over there. I mean, I don't have no problem
Well,
with
I
you.
just thought
You can
about
go on and
I
get, I
just thought
mean,
about Cassie washing her hair in the Niagara Falls
The
boat.
rainfall.
Yes. That was
I wasn't washing it.
hilarious.
It was like so frizzy. I just need to wet it. Thank you.
She was
Oh
all
my
like this. I'm
Like a
like,
shampoo
washing her damn
commercial.
hair.
Just let it shine
Just
through.
Y'all,
woo.
we went to Niagara Falls to a tax boot camp in New York, and we rode the boat into the Niagara Falls. And so the closer you get to Niagara Falls, the more rainfall
Miss
water mist, the more mist gets on you, and it starts getting really strong. It kind of feels like you're under a shower. Well, when it got really strong, Cassie decided to stand in the middle of the damn boat and wash her hair. She was like this.
No, this is the thing.
Your angels
I have
singing.
black hair, contrary to
Look
belief.
at
If
this
you get it
chick.
halfway wet, you need to just go on and put it in a ponytail. I had to wet it because it was gonna be like,
Girl.
I didn't want to be a sheep head the rest of the day. So that's what it is. They was like,
That was the funniest thing
they were like,
ever.
what
It
is
was.
happening? I
You
was like,
saw
"I'm wetting my
clouds
hair."
open up because Cassie had to wash her hair in the Niagara Falls water sprinkles.
It was fabulous.
But Cassie,
Um,
you mentioned something that I wanted to touch on before we end. You were talking about business owners. Let's chat about the business owners' mental health, because people think because you're a business owner that your life is perfect. They think you're rich. I guess they don't think we have bills. I guess they don't think we have bad days. Like, being a business owner is hard. Some months you probably won't make a dime, especially if you're just starting out. So you got to be able to stand that. And if somebody's telling you they make $10,000 a month, that don't impress me. I want to know what your bottom line is. I want to know how many expenses you have. So y'all stop telling people all the good shit about being a business owner and don't tell the full story.
Yeah, because if you're making 10 a month and your expenses are 7,
it's
which
not,
you
Right.
it's not a lot of money.
it's not
But the
enough.
thing,
Then
that's the
you're back to a regular, $20 an hour job at that point.
Yeah. What you was about to say, E?
that's the thing with these influencers. Like they all show the good, but not the bad.
Right.
Like I really, I do social media and all that, but I see a lot of influencers and business owners get online and they show their numbers and how much they make. Like I could never do that because I would be scared that somebody's gonna be waiting outside my house about to rob me.
I
Like
can do
I'm
that.
not doing that.
That's
I'm
just
not
too much
doing that.
information. I mean, well, to each
Yeah.
his own. I'm not judging, but that's a lot.
They're trying to sell something, and I get that part. But just me personally, like I don't even want to. I want to do a bonus structure for my staff, and I'm over here like, okay, how can I do a bonus structure without them knowing how much we make? How do
Right.
I how do I do that?
That
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah, but it's possible. But I think that people compare a whole lot, and comparison is the thief of joy. Um, I've started out 15 years ago. I did at my dining room table. I may have had 5 or 10 clients. That was it. That was it. But every day I got up and I kept going and I kept going and I kept swimming and I messed up and I messed up people's taxes. I ain't gonna sit here and lie and say I'm perfect. I have. And I paid whatever it was I messed up. Nobody can ever say that Erica messed something up and didn't pay it. If I messed it up, I paid it out of my pocket. But that's just because of the person I am. When legally, I'm not obligated to do that. And
Yeah.
so people see me now and say, like, I want to do a course, but I've had people reach out and want mentoring or want courses or want whatever. And I'm so transparent. I'm so transparent. Like, hey, this is what I did that was wrong. Don't do that. Or hey, the biggest thing with us in the tax field is what do you do when you don't get paid by somebody? What do you do when you have your refund, get paid out of somebody's refund and don't get the refund? Like they would talk about that. Like you have so much money that you left on the table because people didn't get their refunds and you
Oh
didn't get paid.
man, so much.
And you've done the work. Like
Yeah.
people don't talk about that stuff. They don't talk about the clients who cancel. They don't talk about the clients who harass your line. They don't talk about
They're hitting you up at midnight, and you're like, first of
where's
all,
my refund?
Child, MJ and I have some stories that we won't get into, but I like the fact that you're so real, and I can say that you're real because I've also
Yes.
seen it myself. And people need to see that. They need to hear it. They need to know that. As a matter of fact, I like the fact that all of us are so real, and we're just showing our realness, during these lives, and I appreciate that. And I just got to say, I love you all.
I love you too.
We love you too.
I know the cliche, there's seasons, yada this, yada that, but I know and I feel that God has, and I'm going to be selfish for a minute, has connected us at a time in my life because he knew at a certain point that was going to break.
Yeah.
And everything I need, no matter what time of the day it is, no matter what it is, I can pick up my phone and reach out to my RETAG sisters, y'all don't lie to me. Y'all might say, girl, that ain't it. You got to stop. And so now it's up to me to be accountable to say, you know what? You got to do it. You're hearing it. And you can't usurp yourself to replace God. God is sending you everything you need, everything you're praying for. You got to wave the white flag and submit. You can't be perfect.
Mm-mm.
We got to kill that perfect patty.
Yes,
For that.
do you need help? You want to jump on her? I like to jump on people. You want to jump on her?
Run over, all that.
We'll set that heifer on fire.
I love it. I love it.
And I want to jump back on what Erica said about, like you talk about when you started out, like when you mentioned those, I won't call them failures, they're learning experiences. I think those are so important because no one ever made it to the top without messing anything up. And so many people, myself included, because like when you're used to being that perfect patty, there are some things you don't even attempt because you're so afraid to fail. Or so afraid to mess up. And that's me. I don't like messing anything up. I'm a perfectionist. And it holds me back from reaching my fullest potential because I'll just completely pull out of it. I'll shy away from it. Mm-hmm. And you have to like really push through that because you're going to make mistakes in whatever you're doing, whether it be taxes, sports, singing, whatever. You're going to make those mistakes because those mistakes are stepping stones to get to perfection. You can't perfect anything that you haven't messed up at because you ain't
got to keep swimming. You got to keep going. Just keep going.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was just telling my son the other day, we were having a heart-to-heart conversation, and I was telling him, God won't allow anything to happen to you without his permission. Mm-hmm. And I don't know who instilled that in me. Probably my grandmother. I don't know, but that is always in the back of my mind. Whatever I go through, I'm talking about it. It doesn't matter how low I feel. I know deep down inside that there's a reason why it happened. And y'all know I was really down when I failed that EA exam.
Yeah.
I wanted us to go to New York and I wanted to celebrate. And I was so down, but I had to sit down and talk to God. And he shared with me that there was something else that he really needed me to know, that he really needed me to learn. So I took that and I studied and I was like, okay, God, I think I got it now. I'm ready. I understand basis. I got this shit down packed. Now I'm going to go back and take this test. And I aced it. Like it's a reason for everything that you go through.
True.
Find a blessing out of it.
Mm-hmm. That's it. Find a lesson.
Yeah. I think it's dope. All these learning steps to get through life. There's so many moving parts, especially for women. We take
a lot of hits, a lot of bangs, and keep on moving and never stop to care for ourselves until we have someone like E and MJ to just point it out. You've got to see about you first.
Yes, you got to.
And I certainly don't want to teach the perfect patty habits to my daughter. It's over now.
Kids watch everything you do. My little girl, she shown it to me. Like it was kind of hard to see me and my boys because my boys are like their dad. But when I had Mariah, I was like, oh, hell no. This ain't what we finna do. Where you get that from? I talk that way? Do I have an attitude like that? No, but we got to tone that down.
Girl, when I saw that, it's so true. You're right in terms of boys and to see your child mimic what you do and you haven't directly taught them that, the mirror doesn't lie. It's not like that. Baby, I saw Mariah on that video the other day. I said,
she had you down.
I don't know what I would do with a daughter. Lord,
and that change your ways.
When I stopped recording the video, you know what she told me? She said, okay, now post that to the people so they can know who MJ really is. It's
She had
too
it
much.
all now. I loved everything about it. But
The way she was sitting up there all confident and everything. I was like, I love it. I was like, yep, future CEO. I see it.
She is.
She is.
Let's see if we have any questions or comments. We've been so in tune with this good conversation. Nat, do you see any? Let me see.
no questions
I
so
don't
far.
see.
Shout out to our bookkeeper, Toki. We love you.
Yes. Hi,
She's
Toki.
so
Um, Facebook saying that they didn't post our video.
Oh, really?
The following actions were applied to your video by Regal Entertainment because
Oh,
it
we
may
can
contain 34 seconds of content they own. What?
Is it the music? Is it the music?
We haven't
Let me
played
see
any
the music.
music.
The countdown.
But we have that every
Music.
week, though.
Okay,
Mhm.
Facebook. Y'all worry about Trump. Don't worry about me.
Hello.
We
Well, let's see.
you
This is
know,
a question. If there is one thing, what is one thing that for your personal self that you're working on changing to get to your destination for the betterment of yourself?
I'll go first. Okay.
yeah, I gotta think about
Mine is mine is working on positive thinking because I'm a realist.
it. Mhm.
And for me, thinking the worst case scenario is what I normally do. Because if it doesn't end up worst case scenario, we all right.
Yeah.
But I'm reading a book called The Secret.
We
And the
are the
book
same
is
person.
called The
Are
Secret.
you just? Is this your first time reading that?
Yeah,
Oh
I
my
never read it.
God! Are you
I
serious?
never read
I'm
it
gonna
before.
read it with you.
Share with
You
me.
haven't
So
read it
I'm
either?
reading it now.
I had,
I,
girl.
I had never read
I can show you some books.
I never
Okay.
read it. I actually bought it for a friend for his birthday. And I got
That's
it
my
too.
go-to book.
Okay.
So for me, I always thought I strayed away from manifestation because I'm Baptist.
Mm-mm.
And I always thought that, okay, wait a minute, manifestation is taking God out of the equation. So I never was like, nah, I don't do that. I don't do the universe. I don't do all that. I don't do
God
that.
is the
So
universe.
and so in reading the book, manifestation is similar to Mark 11:24. When you pray, you have faith, you act as if you already have it,
That's
and
on it.
God is going to give it to you. You
Yeah.
have it. So in reading the book, it was kind of like, wait a minute. So all this time I've been thinking negatively, but praying for something. All this time I've been praying for a husband, but feeling like men are dogs.
Yeah.
Erica, how's that? How does that work?
Yeah.
That doesn't work.
Yeah.
That's it doesn't work. You can't pray for something and not believe in what you pray for.
Right.
So it talks about how you order something. Let's say you order something from Amazon. You ordered it, you push the button, click. Now you sit back and you know it's coming.
Mm-hmm.
It's no different from praying and manifestation. Praying and manifestation go hand in hand. So I'm working on changing my thinking. So instead of me thinking, oh, men are dogs, no, I've had some bad experiences. My love life was a little funky, no, but it's turning around now.
Yep.
That's
My
it.
husband is on the
It's
way.
just, he's
That's
on,
right.
no, he's already here. He's
Yes.
already here. He's
Okay.
already here. He's
Okay.
already here.
I like it.
So it's just changing the way you think. So for me,
Yeah.
negative thinking was protection for me, just in
Mhm.
case things didn't go the way they were supposed to go. But
Mhm.
I was hindering myself. I'm my own blockage. We all have blockages in life. Some
Yes.
people's blockage is business and money. They have money issues. Some people's blockage is their family. Their family creep up a lot of foolishness. Some people's blockage is self-esteem. That
Yeah.
was my blockage. That was it. And so once you realize what that is, it's negative thinking. It's power in the tongue. MJ, you said that earlier today. It's power in the tongue. So between The Secret and Battlefield of the Mind by Joyce Meyer,
Mhm.
those books really, I read that. Those books really help change your mindset on things. So my thing is changing my mindset and thinking positively. That's mine.
I like that. And you're right. You always you love saying that. Well, worst case scenario.
Yes, we just
Yeah,
had this
Right.
we
conversation.
said it'll be all right, right?
When we're out doing anything and a decision has to be made, I can always look to E and she gonna say, "Well, worst case scenario, you can do this, this, this."
Ain't no worst case, and that's like having a plan B. I don't have a plan B. This it. This what
It's A.
God want me to do. I'm living God's will. I don't have a plan B. I'm all in.
That's it. So that's mine.
Yeah.
I like that. I'm gonna read The Secret with you.
The Secret
Yeah.
is good. They have a video as well. Y'all watch the video.
Okay.
Okay.
It's a movie. I love it. Um, Cassie, read your question again. I had mine, but I think I lost it.
So it's just basically like, what is one thing about yourself? Like you're trying to reach a certain place in life. What is one thing about yourself that you're working on to get to your ideal destination?
So for me, I think I'm okay with not being okay all the time. I've always been real, but I've also had a wall up because I wanted to I wanted everything to be perfect. Like I didn't want to make any mistakes publicly, and I didn't want to say the wrong thing publicly. Now I don't give a damn. I don't care anymore. What you see is what you get. I've always been so fearful of public speaking. And I think because I was afraid of messing up. But I'm okay with it now because I'm okay with messing up. I'm okay with things not going how they should because I know that it's going according to God's plan. It may not be going how I want it to go, but I don't want it to go how I want it to go. I want it to go how God has it planned. So I'm okay with things not being perfect anymore.
And people like authenticity also.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's real. It's real.
Yeah.
I like that. And I see it in your day to day, Melinda. I see the transformation. I really do. I
Thank
like
you.
that. You want me to go next,
Yes,
Cassie?
you
I've
can.
already
Go for it.
Nat's gonna work on hanging up her cape.
Yeah.
Can't sugarcoat it. I'm just gonna say it's not an easy task for me because I'm used to doing everything for everybody. I'm my worst critic. There's no mess ups for me, and the cape has to go. Bottom line.
What
That's
color hanger you want?
what color? What?
What color coat hanger you want? You want a wood one? You want a plastic? No wire hangers. We can't do wire hangers.
No wire hanger.
We don't even want to hang it. What's that? Whitney Houston movie.
Waiting to exhale.
Waiting
Burn
to
it up.
exhale. We want to burn the cape.
Burn it.
Yeah, we want to burn the cape. If I'm gonna be a superwoman, I can be it without a cape. It's really a hindrance. So I'm like everybody else is saying, I want to walk through my journey in terms of growth. And as I grow, I want my actions to speak for me.
Yeah.
I tell my kids all the time, I'm not promised to be here tomorrow. I want to leave good memories for them to grow. When they smell a certain smell or hear a certain sound, I want them to remember me in a good sense. I don't want them to remember me in terms of I taught them how not to feel. I taught them how not to cry. I taught them how to be strong for everybody else but yourself. And so that's me.
I like it.
I like that. That's a good one.
Okay, Kels.
What would mine be? I guess mine would just be feeling worthy, self-worth. Make sure that I know that I'm worth it, know that I'm worthy of all the things that I'm trying to do, that they can be accomplished, and I'm worthy of them.
And calling my therapist.
Oh my God. In mornings. I struggle with morning. It's so trivial.
You don't have the whole RETAG.
With mornings. I am not a morning nurse.
From the first second you talk to her, though, it is absolutely, she's magnetic, Erica. That's all I can say.
She is.
She has a gift. She has a gift.
I've been through a few with others in the past, and I always felt like I was missing something because nobody addressed the stuff that I went through as a child, but she did. That was the first thing she did.
First thing.
Wow. Yeah, my other therapist did it. Y'all all see her?
Yes, I told you she gonna have the whole RETAG.
I'm serious.
We just go
first 30 seconds, MJ and I talked about it. I was like, that's a woman walking in her purpose.
Yes.
She's walking in her purpose because she's not afraid to address the issue. Like I can with some people, I get what Nat gets what she wants because I know how to manipulate or change a message or I know how to turn it off and turn it on.
You ain't doing that with
But
her.
with her,
You're not.
I
She
don't
was saying,
know.
let's
I'm a pretty
and
tough.
that's what I need. I need
Yeah.
somebody who's not going to let me get away from what
Right.
it is that I'm trying to fix.
she'll say,
Yeah.
let's go back to this. She have her little notepad and everything. Let's go back to that.
Yeah.
Let's
And
unpack
then
that.
you mess around and say something like,
Well,
I kind of felt guilty when we were having a discussion about my mom. I kind of felt guilty on some of the things that we were discussing, because she's deceased, and I just don't want to talk about the wrongings. But she was like, no, let's call it for what it is. Like, I'm telling you, she's real. She's not gonna let you feel sorry for yourself, and she's not gonna let you sweep shit under the rug. You're gonna address it, you're gonna unpack it so you can move on.
oh Lord.
And even
Yeah.
after you think you've
I'm not an
unpacked it,
emotionally vulnerable person.
you have to, because the thing is,
Not.
if you're not vulnerable,
Like, I
if
don't
you're
even
not
know how
vulnerable,
to be that person.
He says that now, right? But we're humans. We're designed to have some type of emotion. So
no, but
maybe
some
you
people,
haven't tapped into that piece of you
Yeah.
yet.
some people cover it up. They make it
That's
hard.
why it's covered up.
Emotional just
Yeah.
it just
Cover
makes
it
me
up.
feel so
It's a cover up.
uncomfortable. Oh,
It's
so
hard because of
Yeah.
things that you've experienced before. But the
Mhm.
thing is that you have to learn. And for me, I'm typically not vulnerable. I don't cry in front of people. I don't do any of that because my daddy always told me, "You be strong.
Yeah.
You stop that crying. You stop that crying." So that's what I heard, growing up. But the thing is, when you're an empath and when you're a giver, you can't be vulnerable to everybody.
Mm-mm.
That's the thing. You have to learn who you can be vulnerable to.
Yeah.
And if I can't be vulnerable with you, I don't want you in my life.
Right.
I
Yeah.
don't want you
that
around
is
me
true.
because I'm a little teddy bear in the forest. La la la. Man, there's lions, tigers, bears, jaguars, all that shit. We can ate you up. We can ate you up, girl. No. So
That's
you
the
have to
and
learn.
I could say that I have a blessing and a curse with being able to pick up on people energy. Like, I have a really strong discerning of spirit, and I can pick up on your energy before you even speak. And so if I'm ever around you, and we're with another group of people, if I'm quiet, I done picked up on some shit and I'm ready to go. I don't want to be there. I don't want that person in my space. It's not that I'm acting funny. I've read your spirit. That's what that is.
Mm-hmm.
She really is like that. Like, I tell her all the time, girl, I ain't never met nobody like you. Man, I mean, I have good friends, but when I tell you I have belly laughs with our RETAG connection, baby, we have some
We
good
miss
times.
Josie.
Sorry, y'all can't see it all because I'm selfish again. I feel like this is right what I need when I need it.
Yeah.
But to be with these
Mhm.
girls, baby.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Okay, well, we're at the top of the hour. We won't be on next week.
And we making money. Sorry about that.
The good part. We got therapy and making money. We're doing good over here.
I'll
Everybody
actually be
eats
out of the
beef.
country celebrating my birthday, so we won't be on next week. I'm going to be celebrating from this weekend up until December, so I'm going to be unavailable for everybody.
As you should.
Yes.
Right.
So we won't be on next week, and the following week is Thanksgiving.
Mhm.
So we will be back on the first Wednesday in December.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
All right. Any
They
last?
gonna miss us.
Yeah, they're gonna miss us.
Yeah.
I'll try to do a few live videos while I'm on vacation.
Yeah.
No, you're gonna vacate. No.
Vacate.
They
Yes.
don't have to be fun videos. They don't have to be,
Yes, there's gonna be fun videos because I plan to do so much stuff. Honey, Patty gone.
I want to
Well,
lift
I'm
my
gonna be out.
you. You need to post. I
I'm
want to
about
see
to
it.
have me a good
Pretend
time.
I'm there.
Yes. All right. Any last minute things anybody want to say before we log off?
No, I think this was good. Very good topic. You stay closely connected and bringing these hot topics that the world they need to see and they need to hear.
Mm-hmm.
We all made it through.
Yay!
Yeah, we did. Okay. Well, I have to get up and close us out. You all have an amazing week, and we will see you all in 2 weeks.
December.
Thank you. Okay.
Bye, guys.